discussing skiing. I am also white. Did you record that?
It's recording. I don't know if you picked it up because we're so far away from the microphone.
We were a ways off.
I stick to the greens.
Yeah. And I did especially getting started, stuck to them too, but it was like riding a bike though.
Oh, did you just start? Oh, you've skied.
I've skied before. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm talking maybe 6 times.
Okay.
And yeah, definitely started off on the greens, but.
Isn't it funny how the perspective on that is? It's like, I've been skiing for years, all of 9 times.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Well, I've skied 0 times. And so at this point in my life, being now 42 years old, I'm like, I'm never going to go skiing because just like you're saying, I can't afford to rehab for 6 months.
And I don't blame you in the least bit because it is.
My luck, I would break my back, my legs, my arms, probably the neck. You know.
Well, we were talking about that, like me and
I would do one of these, you know,
the guy, one of the dads we were out there with, and it's like when a kid falls, it's like they just kind of tip over.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Low center of gravity,
and they're rubber. You know.
Oh yes,
yeah,
they're built for it. You see an adult fall, it's like a car crash in live action.
Ooh,
dude, we took Randy Hauser to Aspen one year. And I snowboarded at the time, and I was not a good snowboarder. I figured out in my 40s that I was a skier, which is the approximate amount of time you need to wait before you switch. We took Randy. He don't need to be anywhere near snow. That dude yard sails so bad.
He does what?
Yard sail. That's where all your shit goes everywhere.
Everything goes.
He wrecked, and his skis went one way, his poles. This ski school of little kids is behind him and starts bringing him his stuff.
Oh no!
He tried snow. He put a snowboard on after that, and he went down the bunny slope and said, "I'm done.
Yeah.
I quit." So,
I could see that. Yeah.
You know,
the boarding would be harder, I would think,
it
because
sucks,
your feet are like locked into
it's
place.
so awkward,
you know.
Yeah. And you catch an edge on that, and you poop yourself.
It's over.
Yeah, it slams you so hard and so fast down. Welcome to Twangtown. I am David Tolliver.
And I am Colt Merskey. And today we have with us Randy Montana. Got to get the woo in there.
That's a great applause.
Yeah, man.
We've
fierce.
got 4.
We have 4 sound effects.
4 buttons. You might
Just
get them all.
Just for you.
What's going on, man?
Not much. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah,
Dude, thank you for coming.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
You're a busy man. You're hard to get a hold of.
I know we had to kick it down the road a couple times, but I'm happy
Just
it worked
once.
out. Yeah.
But it was a legit excuse because you had to go. I think you said you had to play a show with your dad.
Yes.
And we're big fans of your dad. So we allowed it this one time.
He's a good one.
He is.
We're going to keep him.
Honestly, how old do you think your dad is?
It's funny. I view him as young, but then I get around y'all who just talk about like
I was
that he
with
was
him
around in the
yesterday.
Civil War. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And I'm like, man, maybe he is old.
We're doing this little project together, and we're doing like these historic places in Tennessee and putting life to them. It's a whole thing. I'll tell you about it. But he said something. He was like, "Oh yeah, that was the Civil War. I remember that."
Yeah, he totally just plays along with it now. Yeah,
he's such a good sport about
I don't even
it.
know how it started, but one day we all just started ragging on Billy and just like, man, what was it like when, like, how loud is the Big Bang?
For sure.
Yeah.
So great.
You know?
Oh, when Washington crossed the Delaware, dude, what was that vibe like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Were you in the boat?
Yeah. How cold was it?
Yeah. Where were you born?
I was born in Albany, New York.
Okay.
My mom and dad both grew up outside of Albany.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so they have 3 kids. I'm the oldest. And I got a brother and a sister. We're all 2 years apart. My brother and I were both born in Albany.
Wow.
My sister was born here in Nashville because dad had signed a record deal with Warner Brothers with his band Billy Montana and the Longshots.
Mm-hmm. We have that.
And
I have the shirt.
Yeah.
I got a couple
CD's probably
shirts
here
too.
somewhere.
Yeah, it's right there.
There it is. When your
Those
dad looked
8x10s
like Mel
are
Gibson.
sick, man.
Yeah.
They're cool looking.
He was
I don't
definitely.
think you have siblings.
They look like Alabama.
I don't know.
You know?
I've never met your siblings. I don't think you have.
I finally met Charlie
Yeah,
in December, I think.
absolutely.
First time. I've been working with your dad for 20 years. And obviously I've known you for almost the same amount of time.
Charlie's been in school for 20 years, though. He's a doctor,
I was
so he
starting
just
to
kind
think
of
he didn't
disappeared.
exist. You know? I was like, oh, sure, yeah, you really have a third child or whatever.
Making some kids up.
But I finally met him. I was like, okay, you're real.
Yeah, Charlie went to med school, and we didn't see him.
He's not like you and your sister.
A decade.
You and your sister went down the creative path, and Charlie's like, he has a real job.
Yeah, think of the difference in that. You know what I mean? To creative musicians or whatever, and then we got a pediatric oncologist.
Yeah, like an amazing, what
Lord.
What a job, right? Yes. It has to be so rewarding, but also awful
yet
at the same time.
The worst thing ever.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, you're gonna die from cancer, or congratulations, you're healed.
Oh man,
I can't imagine that.
I don't know. And he took he's a pediatrician. Like he's got a regular pediatrician gig down there at UAB, but went through the whole deal of I think it's called your fellowship after you get out of your med school, you know, if you want to specialize in something. But yeah, man, he ran the whole deal, and he had a great perspective on it though, where he was like, he loved working with kids first and foremost. It was a way for him to spread the gospel with those kids too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He looked at it as almost like just a chance to pray with families and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
His perspective on it was unbelievable. But and he also said that kids, a lot of times have a better, sometimes with the adults, it's sad because they're old and they're just kind of like,
just falling apart.
End this for me, whereas the kids are like, and they've got a will to win.
Oh, wow. I never thought of it like that.
I didn't even see that reason coming, and I love that reason right there.
Believe me, I asked him, I was like, dude, bro, are you sure you want to do this?
Dude, in a way, it almost makes it sadder.
He must be the most kind, wonderful person of all time.
Oh, he wins that award. I'm last on that list, and then he's first.
I feel like dirt.
He's the golden child.
That's amazing.
He's definitely that's what we call him, the golden child.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's the golden child.
He seemed like a nice guy. I didn't get to hang around him much or talk to him much, but I was just glad I finally got to meet him.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
What'd you do in Albany growing up?
Bro, I think I was only there for, 3 years?
3 years.
Oh, so you didn't do anything much?
I don't, had my diaper changed. That's about it.
Pooping a lot. Yeah.
Where did y'all move down here?
We moved to Antioch. We lived in right off Murfreesboro Road in an apartment for years, and then my parents bought a house. They still own the house right there in Antioch, and that was the house I grew up in. And
Wow.
Yeah, all the way through. After it was perfect. The year I graduated and moved off to college was the year that they bought the nicer house in Nolensville. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, where was this the last 15 years?
Nate Bargatze has a skit about that. He's like, when you're the firstborn, your parents are poor. By the time your sister came around, they're trillionaires. It's amazing. Like, where did all this money come from? Were you hoarding it?
It's so true.
And they don't care about, they can do whatever you want to if you're the other kids. But, I was the third kid, so.
You got all the perks.
Oh, I was the oops.
Oh.
15 years separate me and my youngest
that explains a lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
Explains a lot.
You got a lot of money growing up. You're so spoiled.
No, I did not. Did not.
But your parents were different humans.
Totally.
Like, from that space, man. It's like you're a completely different person after 15
what the
years.
hell are we going to do with this one?
Yeah. Well,
Dress them up in a little suit and make them go play shows everywhere.
I watch my dad with my kids, though, and I'm like, who in the hell are you? Like, where is that short-tempered, ready to snap dude that I grew up with? Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, he had me when he was 26. I mean, he was still a hothead, and
Wow.
I don't know that, Billy.
I don't either anymore. I remember him.
Let's talk about short-tempered Billy Montana.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have any good stories. I mean, it was just...
Was he just more grumpy in his young age?
Well, yeah.
Is he like the opposite? Like, usually you get grumpy when you're old.
Well, it's funny. I thought
grumpy
about
old men
this week skiing with the kids, because it's like, think of how hard it is to rent your own skis and get ready to go up the mountain.
Yeah.
Now do that 3 more times. With 3 little humans that don't want to sit still. And so it's like, dude, I'm ferociously pissed off by the time I even get to the ski lift to go up,
You spent $844,000 to go out here and go skiing.
Yeah.
Just to have everyone crying.
They don't know what's going on.
No.
I want hot chocolate.
And so, yeah, you're in line, and I'm like, this is exactly why my father was so pissed off at a young age. I get it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Understand our parents a little more now, don't we?
I've
Day
only
in and day
seen
out.
I've only seen him pissed off one time in the 20 years I've worked with him.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it was about, but I was like, oh wow, Billy can get mad.
I don't want to see it. He might scare me.
He gets mad. I don't recognize him when he gets mad.
Did you follow your dad around playing music? Is that where you got your?
Yeah. Oh
Your
my
love
gosh.
for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean, there's like pictures and videos of, I think, like, you know, of me playing a shovel and
Yeah.
making my way out on stage while the long shots were up playing, and,
Yeah.
and I
Nice.
was up, you know, playing a little fake guitar with them and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And so, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's like, I always described it like, man, it's like you watch if your dad was a mechanic, you know, he changed 2 or 3 alternators in a day. It's like, that wasn't a big deal. It was like, man, my dad was just playing music and writing songs, and it was kind of the reality of it.
Yeah, you just didn't
know?
know any different.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
You're
like,
like,
oh,
oh,
yeah.
this is life.
It's what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know what's kind of strange until you get older.
Yeah. Where'd you go to school?
Let's see. For
College.
I went to first year. I went to Trevecca, which is a little Nazarene school.
The
here in town.
Nazarene. Been there.
Yeah,
Sure did.
played soccer for a year there. And, transferred to MTSU after that.
Nice. Music.
Man, I think I was doing like business management. I don't think I ever really went to the actual classroom though. Like that was.
I remember Billy saying, like, yeah, when Randy told me he didn't want to go to college anymore, it's probably, I might have been the only parent who was like, okay, yes, this is a great idea.
There was
I support your decision.
argument when I was like, hey, I don't think I'm going back next semester. Like, you think most parents would be like, you have lost your mind.
Yeah.
You are lost.
Yeah. Yeah. Billy said, he was like,
They looked at me and they were like, man, sounds good. Sounds good.
Pulled that David Tolliver School of Business right there. I did the same thing.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I dropped straight out of school.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think I stepped in a classroom at Kentucky maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
I was like, it's too cold to walk. I don't want to.
you know, David wanted to be a doctor.
I did. I was going to go be a doctor.
There you
And
go.
I'm just not smart enough for it.
But what was the real reason?
I don't like sick people.
I'm a germaphobe.
Dude, I would observe in the emergency room and, you know, follow I was following a PA around at the time, and all these people came in with these illnesses, and I was like, I forgot that was part of it. I just wanted the money. And I had to hold this little Hemocult card one time, and the dude had to put his finger in this woman's butt, and then he wiped it on the card. He said, close it up. And I said, I want to. And
I'm not touching that.
and it was just awful. And I can't do this. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Music sounds real good right now. I think I'll go do that.
The stories from doctors in like emergency rooms, hospitals.
Oh, they got them all.
Nurses, and the stories that they have. It will blow your mind.
That's where I worked in the emergency room, and it was awful. People's fingers hanging off, people coming in dead.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't separate. And good on your brother having that sensibility and that ability to, you know, for good reasons, switch that on and off, and also testifying to people. I couldn't do it. I don't like people to begin with. I gotta shut up. I'm getting off track, aren't I? Yeah.
This is par for the course. Yeah.
How far did you go before you
Oh, in school,
pulled that parachute?
Oh, man, maybe 2 years.
So you got
right in that 2.5, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, it just was, dude. I was so stupid back then too. Like, not that I'm any smarter now, like, but I just remember it was like I'd signed up for a class and kind of forgot that I'd signed up for it, and then I just remember getting notices like, you haven't shown up to class, and for some reason in my brain I was like, I have that, like, if I don't look at it, it's not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Turns out it's still there, you know, and it goes on your.
Did you
your
drop
thing
that
as a zero.
class, or did you just?
That was I didn't. It went all the way to the end, and I was
Just
like,
completely ignored it.
tried to play dumb.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, hey, I screwed up.
I
they were like,
I did that with
Yeah,
an
you did.
anatomy class. I just didn't go, and it was like I don't even want to drop out of it. I'm just going to quit.
Yeah,
Just done. Yeah.
and man, and then man, we were doing like I had a little like a 4-piece band, and we were doing fraternity parties and playing like cover sets, like at college bars, and when we had like a bunch of schools kind of routed, like we had a couple places at Alabama we could play, Knoxville, Tennessee Tech. Just kind of all these schools around, and kind of had it dialed into where it's like, you know, we could do 8 shows, 10 shows in the fall, a couple shows in the spring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just semester by semester. And dude, that was a lot more fun than going to class.
Yeah, man.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
It was a lot more fun.
What kind of music were you guys doing?
It was just like, we were writing some. I mean, like we would just do a bunch of covers, like a lot of older rock things, and you know, kind of in that Tom Petty world. I grew up listening to
Checks, yeah.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and so it was a lot of that stuff, man, and just kind of. But then also, you know, you do gin and juice too, you know, so
Yeah.
you got to mix it up.
Both kinds.
Got to keep that college crowd happy.
Did you figure out that that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I mean, when that was going on, I was like, I don't know, I just felt connected to it. I felt drawn to it, and I was like, this just makes so much more sense than going to class for me. You know what I mean? Like,
I get you.
And I also had a dad that like I had seen that had success in the music industry, so I knew it was I knew it was possible. I knew it wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to walk in there and like the doors are going to open wide and here he comes, then the next greatest thing. It's like I'd seen it and knew that it was a grind, you know,
right,
and knew that it could be slim pickings. And to the point where I remember when I started, my mom looking at me and going like, where have you been the last 18 years? Like, what about your life and upbringing makes you
not
want to
remember what we went through?
Yeah, you know? And so it was like, I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I'm also stupid enough to not drop that class at MTSU too. So buckle up, baby.
You get that hunger, man. You just can't turn it off.
Yeah.
You gotta satisfy it.
Yeah.
When did you start writing songs?
I like seriously, I remember writing my first song like maybe 16.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of like started writing at night. Like if I had ideas, like I'd kind of do that. And it was always kind of something. Yeah. I never really like showed it to Dad for whatever reason.
That's what I was going to ask. Did you like lean into your dad, or were you just kind of doing it on the side and then maybe bringing it to him later?
Yeah. It's like I almost knew how they would feel about it. Do you know what I mean? Like I already knew.
Stop flirting with disaster.
For sure. Yeah. It's just like I already knew how they felt about it. So
that's funny.
Yeah, I almost hit it a little bit to the point where even when I was playing in a band, he was like, well, what do you do in the band? And I was like, oh, I play guitar and sing. And he was like, what? You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah. Wow. And I showed him a video, and he's like, oh my God.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I was like,
I didn't see any of that coming.
yeah.
I was hiding my talent from my talented father.
For my songwriter father.
Well, it's intimidating too because he's good. You know, it was like he's a talented guy in his own right.
Yeah. Yes. I tell you what,
And so
man.
it is intimidating.
He uses words that most people don't.
Yeah.
And he's got a gift.
Yeah,
and
he
you
does.
do as well. I mean,
I appreciate it.
Obviously, yeah.
Well, he's like an Ivy League guy. You know what I mean? Like he graduated from Cornell.
we don't bring that up.
I know.
We don't give.
Well, he
that
was
to
there
him.
when they started it, so I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
His
first
original-
class probably wasn't very many students. I'm
It
sure it
was
wasn't as hard
originally-
and rigorous as it
He
is now.
held the ribbon when they broke
They cut it,
ground
yeah.
for it. You know, they cut it,
He
sipped
scooped
it
the
with
first shovel.
It was
dirt.
Williams University when he started there, and then he changed it to Cornell.
Well, I think they tried to call it Schlappy University.
That's right.
But then, no one knew how to spell it. So they're just like, how about Cornell?
How did you say that? Could you say that one more time, sir?
So how long did you play
Slippy,
around in the
slappy,
scene?
swimmy. Yeah.
How long did you kick around in the college scene?
Let's see. Did that shortly. Honestly, it was right up till I dropped out. So I would have been like, I don't know, 19, 20.
Yeah.
And then I remember
19, 20.
right around there, 19 or 20. Yeah. And then, And then, but I when I moved back to the house, I moved back in with Mom and Dad and kind of was like, man, I'm going to, because I was already writing with some guys in town. Like I'd found some guys that had publishing deals and stuff like that and just kind of become friends and were writing songs. And I was like, well, I'll give myself, I don't know. I was like, I'll give myself a year to try to get a publishing deal.
Yeah.
And then if not, I was going to go like be a fireman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also a really good career choice.
Well, I figured I could, the plan was cause it's like what, 24 on, 72 off or something like that.
Yeah.
I figured I'd have a lot of time to write a song or two
Nice.
there, you know.
Did you get a publishing deal?
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yes.
In that year?
I would have been a horrible fireman.
Dude, that was awesome. Right?
I forgot I was supposed to show up today.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
man,
I
some
gotta
bitch is
carry
hot.
a
I ain't going in there.
hose.
Who
I don't want to put all that on.
who signed you over there?
Mike Whalen.
Waylon.
Yeah, Mike Whalen. It was a pretty cool story, man. It was like, it all started, honestly, it was Clay Bradley. Clay Bradley was, I'd been writing songs and singing some demos. And then Clay Bradley heard a demo that I had sang. And at the time, he was head of A&R at Sony Records.
Sony Records, yeah.
Yeah, because this has been like, what, 2008 maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he was over there and he cold called me. I was getting married. And he called me like the week of my wedding and was like, you know, Clay is like 100 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, man, I'm in North Carolina getting married. And he's like, this Clay, like, he didn't even said who he is. You know what I mean? Like, I've just answered some voice on the phone that goes, what are you doing? And he's like, it's Clay Bradley. He goes, I need you in my office like now. And I was like, man, I'm in North Carolina getting married, and then I'm leaving to go on my honeymoon next week. And he's like, well, shit. And he was like, well, as soon as you get back, you get in my office. You know what I mean?
Classic Clay, yes.
And so, yeah, I called him when I got back. And at the wedding, obviously my father was at the wedding. And I said, hey, man, I just got a call from Clay Bradley. And he was like, what? Like, I just remember being like, what?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then
Sneaky.
Clay walked me in over there. You know, Troy Thompson was running Sony and walked me in over there to meet with Mike. And yeah, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. He's like, hey, man, give this guy a pub deal. He's going to get a record deal. And
So Clay heard you singing on demos.
yeah.
And were they also demos you wrote?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's like, man, this kid's got it. I'm going to send him over to publishing.
Yeah. I mean, it was all kind of with the,
I'm just thinking at the same time, like, you're a records guy and you like
Right.
the way this kid sings.
yeah.
But there was no interest from Clay at that time.
I think he knew he was
He was on the way
leaving.
out. Yeah.
I think he knew.
I was thinking, man, that's pretty close about the time he left.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he knew he was going to go. I think he went to BMI after that or something. That might have been the
Yeah, I think
right
you're
when he
right.
went to BMI. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think he knew he was on his way out. And so he's like, somebody else will snatch him up. And
Mm-hmm. That's
that's-
cool, though.
yeah.
He got you over there.
That's one of those stories that you think, you know, you hear in the movies that's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to go down and play Broadway and I'm going to get signed playing
Yes.
at the stage or Tootsie's.
Yeah.
And, you know, most of the times it does not happen like that.
For sure.
But it just speaks to your talent. I mean, it's undeniable.
Oh, I appreciate
You
it.
know,
man.
I'm just going to keep blowing smoke up your ass.
So,
Ouch.
yeah. Is that how you hurt yourself
I'm
today?
I'm so jealous. My butt hurts so bad right now. I'm trying. I want to undo my leg because my knee's sweating, but I can't because my butt hurts so bad.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just got to quit working out now.
Yeah.
It's funny talking about that. It's like I've been running. I've been doing distance running.
Oh my
you know?
gosh.
And
You
it's
know?
like did a half marathon last year or whatever.
Wow.
And was going to do another one in the spring. I'm trying to figure out anyway. It's like, you know, I'm putting in miles a week. You know? But this past week we went to the mountains, so I didn't do anything
Mm-hmm.
for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of that week, I started getting out of bed and I was like, God, I feel great. Like nothing hurts. Like,
What a great feeling.
why am shouldn't this be the other way around?
Right?
You know what I mean?
I walk down the stairs backwards sometimes after the gym. Just it. I used to be able to bend down and pick stuff up, you know, squat
Yeah.
and get back up with ease.
Sneeze and not worry about
Sneeze,
it.
Yeah. I had to do a check the other day. You know, it's just like, did I? I don't know.
Dangerous, man.
You can't
gets
trust
dangerous.
anything anymore, dude. You really can't. Even my eyesight, I don't even trust it anymore.
Yeah.
You know. So you got a publishing deal.
Second pub deal.
How long before you got a record deal?
Man, it was honestly pretty quick after that. Like,
Of course.
yeah.
It's amazing.
Dude, things were happening so quick. I remember sitting there with my wife going like, what is going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was the strangest. It was a really strange, like, 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, when you think about, like, from dropping out of college, like, still doing the gigs with the band and all that. And then, yeah, getting that phone call. And it's like, then I got a pub deal. And then I meet Joe Fisher, you know, a few years or later that year it would have been.
Wasn't that like a similar story? Like, didn't he hear your demos and he was like, oh, I love this kid's voice? And
yeah.
Isn't that how you guys kind of connected and that happened?
For sure. I met him. He had heard a couple demos. I remember meeting him at Sony.
Mm-hmm.
He was over there probably for a pitch meeting or something like that because he was A&R at Universal at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, we just started hanging out and talking. And I just send him stuff whenever I had it, you know, and yeah, I remember we played a little gig at like The Pond in Franklin, which I don't even know if it's still there. Do you remember that bar?
Yeah, sure do. Right there across from Kroger.
Yeah.
Yep. Del Rio.
Yeah.
Know that place
there.
well.
I mean, it's literally about the size of this room.
It is.
Yeah.
If you blink, you will miss it.
Yeah.
I can't believe I used that.
And it was one of those. Yeah, it was one of the like, and he was like, "Are you playing a show anytime soon?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "We're doing a little thing at the Pond, just kind of for fun." And then like, dude, just everybody, because they're already kind of the labels were obviously like sniffing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
God, it was packed. It was shoulder to shoulder in there. And I've never been more terrified to play a bunch of shitty songs in my life. You know what I mean? So,
Wow.
yeah.
And that was, 2009, 10?
That would have been, yeah, right around then.
Because you came up and played.
2009, probably. 2008, 2009.
You came up and played Crockettsville like right around that time, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Were you there when he was there?
No.
You don't think you were there?
Dude, we did your guys' ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, the Halfway to Hazard ride was
I miss that
electric.
thing. I miss it. It was good times. It was a lot of work, but it was good times.
That was awesome out there. That stage, you guys built this stage, I remember it, and it looked like it was like hand-hewed logs.
Like the people that owned the land were loggers,
Oh.
and they cut all those trees down, those cedar trees,
Yes.
and planed them, did them, and built a stage.
That's incredible.
That stage that was up there, that ginormous
That was a
stage.
giant stage.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful. It was in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
and it was an amazing setup.
Yeah. It was good times.
And y'all somehow got your hands on what, like 100 side by sides, and
yeah.
and there was just
Yeah.
a line of people.
Some people did not need to be on anything motorized whatsoever.
Do you remember that UFC fighter?
Dude, I saw
went
him
off the
last
edge?
week. We did a telethon together. Rich Franklin.
Oh, Rich Franklin. Wow.
Like he champion
Yeah,
UFC.
no, he's
so
badass.
We're going like Chad and I are in front, and we're in side by sides. Well, Rich is on a 4-wheeler, so he comes bebopping around us. You know, like he's not going to see that curve up there. And somebody had torn down the sign, so he misses the curb and just shoots way out and drops down. He goes down. He goes one way. The 4-wheeler goes the other way, probably 40, 50 feet down.
Oh, no.
Yeah, comes walking back up, just blood everywhere. He goes, "Let's go." I'm like, I'd quit right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do anything else.
That's that skiing moment where
Yeah.
if that would have been me doing this 40 feet,
yeah.
I would have just been like,
Yeah.
like get the life flight out here.
You know, we kept his 4-wheeler there for the next years to show people that they need to be careful on the trails. It was beat all to hell.
Dude, it was straight down too, like where he went, because we were all. I mean, everybody was in a line.
Yeah.
And so we got up to him like shortly after. I think he had just climbed up out of the ravine.
Yeah.
There's blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like, he's kind of standing there and he's a little shell shocked, you know what I mean? But I just remember him going, it was going down. And when I saw I was going to hit the tree, I just bailed. You know? And I was like, yeah, buddy, I would have too, you know?
I would have made the curve.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Wow.
I was like, "You want some Advil?" He goes, "I don't take it." God almighty.
Because when you get hit in the head that much, you don't really.
Yeah.
That was probably nothing.
He may not even know that he went over the hill. I don't know. Nah, he's a good dude, man. He came up and co-hosted the telethon with us for the floods in Kentucky. And he's still intimidating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, don't ever mess with a guy with cauliflower ear.
That dude was a beast in his day. Still is, but he still looks the same. Like,
Yeah.
you do not age.
For sure.
It's that Native American blood, or I don't know what you call it these days. Native American.
Sure.
Those guys are nuts, man. We were in Jackson Hole one time in, like, it was around New Year's, and there was an MMA fight the night before, like a UFC fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was when Chad Mendez fought. Man, he might have fought Conor McGregor that night. It was one of his like last fights.
Yeah.
So he must have like just PJ'd it over to Jackson Hole after the fight. This was Sunday. The fight was Saturday night. Because he walks into the restaurant that we were eating in.
Yeah.
And like he lost the fight, and buddy, you could tell it. You know what I mean? Like
It showed.
oh,
Yeah.
dude. Like, I mean, he's like walking in, and I see his face, and I'm like, oh my God, what happened to that guy? Because I mean, just all like whole thing swollen.
It's had time to
dude,
swell up.
it was like, they don't look good after the fight, bro. Next morning, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And but you could obviously tell, like, just by his build, it's like, well, that guy's somebody, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I started looking at him for a second, and I was like, man, I swear that's that Chad Mendez guy. And I looked it up, and sure enough, it was. And he had not had a good Saturday night.
Yeah. That's
He had
rough.
some guy repeatedly beating him in the face.
Oh, it looked brutal.
Youch.
Yeah. Yeah. So, got a record deal, released a single.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a record with it was cool. I made a record with Jay Joyce at the time.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And at the time, like at that moment, he had only done Eric Church in country. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of the first. I think he had Patty Griffin. I think he was doing like Cage the Elephant already.
Yeah.
A lot of rock stuff.
Yeah.
You know. But Eric Church was like the first country thing he had done. I think I was the second, and then. So, dude, it was super cool because he's like cutting in the basement at his house. You know, we cut the tape.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man, it was just like, it was a different experience. And honestly, I didn't even know it in the moment because it was my first time making a record. You know what I mean? Like I had done demos before,
Yeah.
and seen that go down.
Yeah.
But like, as far as like really making a record, this was the first time. So I wish I would have even, looking back, it's like you always wish you would have taken more time to appreciate
a
what
little
was
bit
going on.
and sit and watch it a little more.
Absolutely.
I'm sure your head's
Yeah.
still spinning a little bit. You know, it's all so new and like you said, happening so fast for you.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just at that point, I was just hanging on for.
Did Joe hook you
dear
guys
life.
up? Is that how you got hooked up with Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe had a cool vision in the people that he was looking to work with. Because, man, at the time, you know, I look back and it's like, man, you got to think about it. It's like, this is before streaming. This is like, I mean, I guess, you know, Facebook is a thing. It's like, we're like,
Was this before the Capital Universal merger? Was Eric?
yeah, this is
still on
before
Capital?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Capital EMI was still its own thing.
Yeah.
And then like on Universal, which you guys were on Universal.
Yeah, we were on Mercury
Yeah.
as well.
With what's his name that was the head of the label at that time?
Luke Lewis.
Luke Lewis, dude.
Old Luke.
Dude, what a guy.
What a dude.
That dude was awesome.
Yeah.
He's
I
a
never really
cool
got to meet
dude.
him.
He was high all the time. Now, I ain't got nothing against the Chiba. I've done it myself many, many times. But that dude was stoned.
That's so funny, man.
And he was a renegade, too.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's like, you should release this. And we're like, that's a terrible idea.
Oh yeah, shooting from the hip. Man.
Yeah.
He shot from the hip.
Yeah.
I hate everybody. Well, we can't do that. Yeah. Nah, he was.
We gotta like somebody.
Yeah. we can't piss everybody off, Luke. No, he was a good guy. He
so
believed in us, believed in you, and you know he had an outlaw vision.
He did, man, and he went to bat for those people
Yeah.
that he did believe in. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like he
went to radio stations with us,
for sure.
just trying, begging people to play.
Yeah. No, man.
It didn't work.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't have done that if he didn't believe in you guys. You know?
It just shows you, man. Sometimes things sometimes things are meant to go another way.
Yeah, for sure.
And things have gone really well for you.
Oh man,
sir.
I appreciate it.
Really jealous.
We know the record you and Jay made. I know I've had this conversation with many people in this town. It's almost like that album was ahead of its time because I think Jay was still. It's before everybody even knew who Jay really was.
For sure. Yeah.
But I mean, go back and listen to it now. That record still holds up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I think so too. And Jay's sound is very like timeless. I mean,
Sure. But it was different for what Nashville was at that time.
So different.
But if you would have done it, if say you were born 6-7 years later, it probably would have worked out. I mean, Who knows? But
it's funny you say that. I just I have this vivid memory of so we made that record and I put out 2 singles and both died in the 30s. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Kind of had the kiss of death right there. And then, but I remember my brother-in-law was getting married and we were in a limousine for like all the groomsmen, you know what I mean? Like going to to the wedding or whatever. And I remember somebody put on Florida Georgia Line's Cruise.
Yeah.
And I remember kind of the limo erupting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, this is my song. It's the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
And I remember in that moment going
oh, shit.
Yeah. I was like, you know what I mean? That was the fork in the road. And it's like, I was over here kind of doing this other thing. And then, but you could feel it. You know what I mean? I could feel it in that moment. And
there was definitely a dynamic shift.
It was you could feel it. It's like, that's where we're going. You know what I mean? You could just feel it. And it was in that moment. I was like, my artist career is over.
Oh man. That's a bummer.
Oh.
But, looking back, you've made the most of your, lack of artist career, and man, sure. You've really leaned into the songwriting thing, and bro, you're in fuego.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Yeah, I look. I mean, obviously, it's a tough pill to swallow at the time.
Sure,
but
because you're almost like, where do we go from here?
For sure, that's a tough spot.
But then again, you kind of saw it from your old man. Same thing kind of happened for him.
Yeah.
Although you've had 10 times the amount of number ones he's had, but he's counting.
Don't tell him that.
That makes
he
him
knows.
so mad.
He doesn't sleep at night because of it. He's happy for you, but he's not. He's
not happy.
Oh,
he's exactly
right.
He's
a little bad mouths you at every writer's night we play.
Remember that old Billy, that pissed off Billy I was telling you about?
Yeah,
he's
so
still
much animosity.
Yeah.
Old hard candy gets real mad about it.
Yeah, they get bitter.
Yeah. Wow.
So when did you get your first number one? Were you at Warner when that happened?
Writing for Warner? Yeah. I was writing for Warner.
So you were Sony for
I was in that pub deal that I signed, talking about with Michael Whalen.
Yeah.
It's man, I was kind of stuck in that one for a while.
So I remember when you were writing there, obviously, I've known you forever, and I was always like, yeah, go Randy, and you would write a lot with your dad, and so I'd hear a lot of those songs. And
for sure.
I think you were getting cuts, but nothing was catching. It's like, all right, I would tell everybody, I was like, all right. That bubble's going to burst for Randy one day. It's going to happen. And it's just like, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen?
Right.
When's it going to happen? I'm sure you kind of felt the same way.
The same thing.
But it was at Warner, I think, when you got your first number one. Is that right?
Yeah. And it's you all know, you've watched enough writers in town. It's when you finally find your place, you're like, oh, okay, well, this is where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. These are the people I'm supposed to be writing with. It's those acts are coming up. It's where all that, opportunity and whatever that saying is, where they both meet. Yeah, everything meets.
Preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah, it's not like it's some orchestrated thing that we plan it out. You know what I mean? It just happens. And so, yeah, I mean, so much of the stuff, the success that I've had, you realize it's just with the people that you know and that you're, like-minded folks, and that you work well together, you hang out together, and that's where it breeds. It's like Luke Combs is a friend. You know what I mean? It's not like it happened naturally. You know what I mean? Like we just went turkey hunting one day. You know, I was like, yeah, I'll take you. Let's go. You know, we trespassed on somebody's property.
Nice.
Probably, you know what I mean? So
who at Warner signed you over there?
Ryan Beisel.
Yeah,
Ryan,
Nice.
which is
connection from Universal.
full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, man, he was the A&R assistant at the time.
Right.
Yeah, working for Brian and Stephanie were over there and Joe. And so
That is full circle. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, super cool, and like he's still saved in my phone as Ryan Universal. Like I don't even have his last name.
Pretty
in the
sure
thing.
he's the same way in my phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's wild.
yeah.
So what was your first number one?
My first number one was "Beer Never Broke My Heart."
Was it really?
Yeah,
I remember doing you and your dad were at a ride around somewhere. I think it was at the Bluebird. I think it was for like the Rad Project or something that he always does. I think this was it. I could totally be wrong. But I remember you saying, yeah, Luke Combs cut this song and I think it looks like it might be his next single. And I remember you playing it going, wow, that's a really good song.
Yeah.
that's cool.
First time you hear it, you're like, oh, shit. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, my gosh. I had that somewhere.
Man, how long ago did that song come out?
That was in 2019.
How long?
You've been on a hot streak, man. Because you've had like what? Almost 10 number ones
Has
now,
it
right?
been that long since that song came
Knock
out?
on wood, yeah. Knock on wood.
Well, you got one almost to hit 10?
I mean, just one on the charts, yeah.
There's one on the charts. Will that be 10?
I think that would make 10.
Dude.
Well, it's time to quit. You and Ashley Gordley need to retire.
Yeah, right.
You're only 70 behind Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
Watched that bastard play at the Bluebird the other night. So angry at him.
Yeah, I mean, you only get 4 songs. Which 4 did he choose?
All
How do
Morgan
you
Wallen.
choose?
They're all Morgan Wallen, weren't they?
Yeah, there were like 2 Morgan Wallens and like, I don't know, like a Engelbert Humperdinck or something. I don't know. I love Ashley. He's a good dude, but Ashley, it's time, man.
It's on, dude.
Take that PJ, head down to the island, son.
It's impressive, man. It's unbelievable.
How? That's so prolific.
It's crazy.
I just
He's a hustler, man.
You
Don't quit.
Yeah. I'll get you.
So out of your almost now 10 number ones, what's the one that's currently on the charts?
I have a Justin Moore single. It's called Time's Ticking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one. You have to check it out.
Yeah.
So out of let's say, I know you've written a lot of songs. It doesn't even have to be a number one, but you have one of your songs that's been recorded that you're like most proud of?
Man, okay. Yeah, probably. I had a Luke Combs, I think it was his last single, was a song called Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah, it's a great song.
I'm really proud of that song. I love that song.
I have a.
You have a confession?
I have. So, I don't know when you guys wrote that song, but I had this. I was just I was driving around one day, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's a good idea." So I got in with a couple writers, and we wrote this idea. I'm like, "This is really cool." Wasn't even thinking about it. Months later, I hear Where the Wild Things Are. My idea was Where the Wild Things Were.
Oh, I love that.
So close.
Damn it.
I love that.
So I was almost there. It was very close.
I kind of like Where the Wild Things Were.
I'll trade you.
Trade you the royalty checks.
I'll trade you.
So I have a question. I went to lunch with someone the other day, and you popped up in conversation, and they're like, "Man, I've written with Randy for the last 10 years," and the person was like, "He's got it figured out." It's like in the last 2 years, he's figured it out. He's figured out how to write the hit song, like from just knowing what to say and how to say it and present it.
Oh, interesting.
Do you have any feedback on what you think, how you approach writing a hit song?
That's interesting. I think when you have one, like when having ones that have worked, like maybe that barometer just gets like that scope kind of steadies a little bit, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that just feeling in your gut of like, and it is a gut feeling, you know what I mean? Like where it's just like, no, that's it. That's the right way to go. And it may not be like the most poetic thing in the world, but maybe you just say it. You know what I mean? Like, because sometimes we just need to say it. You know, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Oh,
great
it's a big
advice,
compliment.
especially for your young writers. Sometimes it doesn't have to be the flowery, poetic thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to say it.
Agreed, man. And it's like, and I love like sitting down and doing that, like trying to write the most like colorful type thing. But then there's also times, and then you got to also figure out who you're writing for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, are they going to say it that way? And it's
Does Walmart want to hear this? No, they do not want to hear that. Pink lemonade in my ears, you know.
What did he just say?
Yeah. I go to Walmart. I go to Target. I ain't trying to be better than everybody else, huh? Yeah.
Who's your favorite? Who's the favorite? Maybe let me rephrase this. Is there like a artist who you're like, man, I would love to have a cut on that person, or have you had a cut on that person?
Dude, man, recently, and I went on the road and wrote with him. Super great guy. But man, that Tucker Wetmore kid is just such a great. He's
Yeah.
a great dude, and he's artistic, and I really enjoyed spending time with him. You know
Cool.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's a great like new artist. You know what I mean? And it's like that's what's fun right now. It's like, and as writers, it's like we get, and as publishers, it's like we get a look kind of at the landscape before. We get to look at the seeds before they come up.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's
Right.
like before they are kind of sent out to the public. And it's like, I don't know about y'all, but like, man, there's some unbelievable like new acts I feel like that are
Yeah, I agree.
like it's a great time to be an artist because I feel like that lane is as wide as it's ever been.
Oh, yeah.
And I just think about like from when you and I had deals, David, it's like it felt like it was, I don't know, it was just a very uniform thing. It's like
And
you
it was
record
very
the
narrow.
record. Yeah.
It was a narrow road because, like you said, we didn't have Spotify, Apple, Pandora, Deezer, whatever all those
Yeah,
things
you couldn't
are.
be an independent artist
No,
and put your music
we
out.
had radio.
Yeah.
And we had terrestrial radio.
for sure.
And that was it.
That was the place that had to live.
Satellite just started.
Right. And it had to work on that
Yeah.
format
Yep.
or it like didn't really work. And
Or you didn't reach anybody, you know?
for sure.
Yeah.
You look at guys like Zach Bryan. You think he would have been successful back in that day because, blew up Spotify. It's just a lot of people, I don't know, maybe they would have without TikTok, without, Instagram, whatever those avenues are now. I wish we would have had something like that.
Yeah, a place for those records to live and like, and because they do, man. It's like, man, those guys are putting out. It is as far left to right. You know what I mean? Like just like vibe wise, like to scale the whole entire genre, and it's like it finds a lane and it works. You know what I mean?
Morgan Wallen to Zach Top, it's just like
There's like
everybody
it's like
in between.
It's
For
a
sure.
big old kettle of popcorn.
Yeah.
And it's just shooting them out. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. It's a good time.
It is.
It is a really good time. Again, I'm jealous,
Yeah.
frustrated. No, I'm just kidding.
Pissed off when I was born. Yeah. Why couldn't it have been 95?
That would have been nice. I'd have my knees back.
Yeah.
You'd have picked up that 45 just fine.
Dude, I'd
today.
have thrown that 45. I'm way stronger now than I was when I
Taking a
was.
shot of Jaeger and throwing that 45 across.
I hate that stuff. Remember when you snuck one on me?
Yeah. It was awesome.
He snuck one on me one night, and
so
I just
mad.
took it and I threw up in the garbage can right next to me.
It's that bad?
It was definitely a tin
dude,
roof.
It's that bad?
It's my reaction to Jaeger is
Yeah.
But if you mixed it with like Red Bull, I could do that
For sure.
But straight up Jaeger,
Jaeger's pretty nasty.
I will vomit.
Mine's Southern Comfort.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I can't smell it.
There's no comfort in that. No, not at all. What do you got going on right now that you're really excited about besides Tucker Wetmore?
Man. Oh.
And are you gonna throw some music out? I think you need to, dude. I don't know. Why not?
I don't know.
You have the
thought about
opportunity.
it?
Yeah. I mean, I've recorded some stuff to do it too.
There
I'm
it
just
is.
kind of
Oh,
sitting there.
okay.
I don't know.
You heard it here first on the Twangtown podcast.
That's right.
So when we coming out this fall?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be after baseball season because I'm the pitcher for the 7U White Sox. All
Okay.
right, so
Okay.
I got a part-time job.
Oh,
Dude, kids baseball. A good buddy of mine has two boys in baseball. it's like another job, like a life sucker.
Yes.
Yeah, it never stops.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I'm glad I have two girls. I'm like, oh, thank God I'll never have to play with baseball.
Yeah.
It's gonna be softball though. It's gonna be softball.
Yeah, no, we're not
Just
doing
don't
that.
let them play anything. You know?
Cheers already taken
Stay in
up
the
most of my
house.
time.
Stay in there. Sit on the iPad.
Play video games.
Yeah. Go look
So-
at Daddy's computer. It's fine.
So, I guess before we kind of wrap this up, one thing I want to touch on, if you're cool with talking about it, is you're married into racing royalty.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife's her grandfather's Richard Petty.
Yeah,
Her dad's Kyle Petty.
it's pretty
That's
cool.
a nice lineage right there.
Yeah.
Hence
man.
the wedding in North Carolina.
Got married in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that been like being married into that family?
Man, I honestly, straight up, like I didn't know anything about NASCAR racing. Like I think I might have known who Dale Earnhardt was.
Yeah.
You know, and Jeff Gordon. Like that was
Yeah.
kind of the extent of my knowledge.
Yeah.
To the point where she was like, yeah, my grandfather's Richard Petty. And I was like, oh, that guy with a cowboy hat? And she was like, yeah, that's him.
You're the STP.
Yeah. How'd you guys meet?
We met in college. We were
Okay.
just kind of had a mutual friend. That she was at Belmont. And I was at
Yeah.
Tribeca. and
Okay. I
I
didn't
had
know
a
she went to
mutual
Belmont.
friend that introduced us. Yeah.
Nice.
Kyle came up. Was it the same year as you, right? To Crockett'sville.
Man, I don't know if it was that year or a different year. Like, I don't know if I was there
remember
the
he
same
was
year as
there.
him. Yeah.
But I couldn't remember if you guys were there the same year.
Yeah.
Mm.
Man, I do not remember.
Such a nice dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Montgomery bought Chad's old house on Belmont.
Yes, Kyle and Patty bought it. Yeah. Yeah, Kyle and Patty bought it, and then they renovated it. Montgomery
Yeah.
lived there.
Okay. That's what
and
it was.
then, yeah, and then we
I
got
thought
married.
you
and
guys
moved.
bought it. I thought you guys bought it.
No.
Oh.
I think I lived there we got married, and then I moved in then.
Yeah.
And we lived there for like a couple months, maybe.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
house was annoying.
Was it really?
Yeah. The bathroom was on the second floor.
That's right.
Yeah. Like had a first floor,
I
kitchen,
forgot
living room, and
about that.
everything. Only bathrooms were up on the second floor.
Yeah, that's a little annoying.
Yeah.
Weird.
I used to give Chad so much shit for that.
That basement was cool. Do you remember the basement?
I didn't know it had a basement.
Yeah, it was a cool basement.
What?
Yeah, it was like old concrete, like block walls. Like it was creepy down
I
there,
had no idea.
but it was cool.
I was like, yeah, creepy
I
and
wonder
cool.
what Chad
Yeah.
was doing down there. He did not tell me he had a basement.
Yeah.
You know, wink, wink.
50 Shades of Chad.
Sex dungeon.
Yeah. 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 Well, man, thank you for coming out here and doing stuff with us.
Is that it? It went by quick.
Yeah, but you got a couple more things you got to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Billy did them. You got to do them too.
Oh, okay.
First, you got to spin the wheel of shame
Oh,
in a world. Yeah. Get that finger on there, son. Hopefully it
Have
lands
you ever spun
on.
a wheel of shame
Have
before?
you ever?
shamefully not.
I mean, why we call it the wheel of shame? I didn't. Did you
Shameful.
do that? You did that, didn't you?
Yeah,
What did it
it's my
land on?
stupid creation.
Pinche pendejo.
Yeah.
Did it really?
That sounds like that's what those cooks used to say to me at the Mexican restaurant I
Well,
worked at.
there's a reason
Oh,
for
yeah.
that.
Well, I'm sure you earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That is not a nice term.
That makes sense
Yeah.
now.
They did not like
you
you.
mother. No.
They really didn't like you.
Wow.
They called you pinche pendejo.
That's
Yeah.
what those guys called me all the time.
Which Mexican restaurant did you work at?
I used to wait tables. It was a chain place called Don Pablo's, which is like a Tex-Mex place.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, all the cooks in the back. Oh, pinche pendejo.
Yeah, pinche gringo. Yeah.
I'm so glad it landed on that.
Well, unfortunately, I still don't have what it we
Tequila?
have to do that. Usually, it's
Yeah.
a shot of tequila, but
Ooh, yeah.
maybe you want to give it another spin because I keep forgetting to go buy more tequila.
Keep forgetting not in love. I can't even sing it right now.
Michael McDonald.
I can't even do it right now.
Tortilla slap?
Oh,
yeah.
shit! You ever done a tortilla
So
slap?
much fun.
No.
You're about to.
Yeah, you are.
You guys are making me nervous.
No, man, just relax. You'll be fine. That's even better. Go ahead and
Truth or drink?
yeah, you could have landed on that.
God, there's a lot better things I
Buy
could
these
have
like
landed
every week
on.
or something.
Wake the Dead.
Wake the Dead. That's a
I don't
good
want
one
to do
too.
Chubby Bunny.
Chubby Bunny's so much fun. Are they really that hard?
It's fine.
It's fine. I'm fine.
It's just a game.
You're fine. We're fine.
All right, Randy.
Don't you need? Oh, you just need one tortilla. Never mind.
Is this gonna hurt?
Yeah, probably. No.
All right. So here's what we do.
Okay.
You take a little sip of water and you hold it in your mouth.
Okay.
And then we're going to do rock, paper, scissors. Okay. And then whoever wins rock, paper, scissors gets to slap the other person in the face with a tortilla.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that on Instagram or anything?
Yeah.
That's not my algorithm.
You're not doing it right.
Man, I tell you what, that algorithm will get off on you.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
David's algorithm's really dark.
It's taken me a long time to get out of the algorithm I was in.
Some of the things I get from friends, I'm like, dude, your algorithm is whack.
Yeah, and that's why I got in it. I got in it because a couple of my buddies sent me a couple things, and I looked at them like, that's ridiculous.
Well,
and
that's
it's
the
like,
problem with it is,
oh, you like that? Here's more of
if
it.
someone sends you something and you watch it, now it's in your algorithm. And they're going to send you 20 more of those. You're
Yep.
like, I didn't.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So headphones off. We're going to stand up and do this.
And I'm going to video it because my
Look
butt
at-
hurts.
Look at the regret. He's like, man, I should have never
You'll be
answered this
fine.
dude's text.
Oh, these crazy kids and their games.
All right. Just a little sip of water. Hold it in your mouth.
Oh, yes. Give him hell. Give it to him. Just. Oh,
What's with the water?
wow.
Try and spit it out.
Dude.
Round 2, or is that good?
Okay, we can go again.
All right.
Oh, you do another one? Golly, glutton for punishment. Round 2. Oh, wow. Dude,
Win. Dude, 2
Oh, I stuck with scissors the whole way. I was
never
he's
got-
gonna get me on this one.
the
I've never
sound
got-
of that in my headphones.
I've never got beat, I don't think. That hurts. They're hard.
I don't know. I've never done it.
They're so hard.
You got one more thing you got to do, then we let you go.
I think
All right, Randy.
So glad I won.
What I have
am
here is the Atomic Rhino Smelling Salts.
Oh.
And this is our Twangtown initiation.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is take the lid off.
Okay.
You're going to hold it right here by your chin. Give it a proper man sniff.
Just a big deep breath in.
Okay.
You played football in high school,
Yeah.
right?
I did.
Did you ever
Yeah.
have to do smelling salts?
I never did smelling
No,
salts.
well, this makes up for that.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
So just at the chin?
Yeah, just the chin. Then just,
Proper man sniff.
yeah.
Doesn't
I
help
don't
if
even
you
know
look
what
at it.
is.
It's fine. Sniff.
What is that? Oh my God.
It's like pure ammonia or super concentrated ammonia.
It's still there. It won't go away.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Dude, thanks for being a good sport.
You're the best sport.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We love you. We love
run
your
through a
dad.
brick
We love your
wall.
mom. We love your family.
I love you guys, man. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me on.
Thank
We
you
love the
for coming in here.
Montanas and Schlappies.
Yes.
It's fun to do this, man.
Yeah. Proud of you.
I appreciate it.
More hits coming. I hope you get
So
them
many
all.
hits.
Thanks, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
dude. Colt,
David?
tell them what to do.
Yeah, so we're available on all streaming platforms. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Rate, like, subscribe, follow, comment.
Just give us money.
Do all the things.
Yeah.
It helps us out.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, everybody.